What we think we become. The power of your subconscious mind. The power of the subconscious mind cannot be underrated. Several men have risen to the heights of greatness because they thought greatly of themselves and worked towards greatness. This is the reason we emphasize that what we think we become. This does not entirely try to disregard other factors that contribute greatly to shaping one's life. However, the aim is to shed more light on the need to gain more control over our mental activities in order to gain control over our lives and direct it properly. There is a great emphasis on why we should consider it a necessity to master our mindset and know that what we think we eventually become. Here are 5 reasons to believe that what we think determines what we become. Number 1, malleability of the human mind. The human mind is so malleable that it can be shaped and reshaped into whatever we want. This is the reason some principles can change over time. Man is a changing being, and this is expressed all the more in the philosophical words of Heraclitus that you cannot step into the same river twice, since all things are in the state of flux. This means that man has not been created to be static. Rather, he is created genuinely to adjust to better positionings in life. Bearing this in mind, we can take this idea of all things being in flux and utilize it for our own benefit. What this entails is that we can continue to adjust our positions till we are in the position that suits our life goals and targets. We do this by believing in our thoughts and hanging on to our beliefs while strongly walking towards them. Number 2, success and failure begin from the hearts of men. If a man begins a project which he does not believe in, there will be later chances of bringing that project to fulfillment. However, if one believes strongly in the project he embarks on, then there are greater chances of success in such a project. This means that success and failure begin from the hearts of men. Whatever you envision for yourself eventually plays out in physical manifestations as we have envisioned. Number 3, the godlike nature of man. The godlike nature of man has been reiterated over and over again through so many teachings. The Bible says, I have said you are gods, you are sons of the Most High. Psalm 82 verse 6. This emphasizes the godlike nature of man and his capacity to control the events in his life. In another Bible passage it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21. This also points to the power in man to decide what happens in his life. Man can take advantage of his godlike nature to speak positively upon his life and make all the changes that are necessary to his life. Most people do not recognize this power that is within them, and as such, they continue to roam about looking for answers without realizing that this power is already within them. Number 4, there are underlying laws beyond physicality. If you have listened to great teachers in the world and paid attention to certain mysteries in the world, you must have heard the saying that the spiritual controls the physical. This is usually uttered by those who have gained advanced knowledge of the working principles of the world. This pattern that has been acclaimed by many shows that what we think we become, because the spiritual refers to such realities beyond physical perceptibility, thoughts included. There are underlying laws beyond the physical things we know, and in order to see effects in some things that we do, we must go beyond the physical. Thoughts are a good place to begin with. Number 5, concept of life's mission. There are different conceptions of what life is all about. As many different people there are, so also there are different concepts of what the world is all about. People think of their life's mission in a specific way that shapes how they view and live life. For this reason, it is possible to attribute the different operations of life according to each person's conceptualization of life. As such, we can also attribute it to the fact that what we think we become eventually. Closure. The thought process is one that is inundated with several other processes that we may not be able to comprehend in totality. From a general point of view, we know that it is in the brain that our actions are planned before they are executed. This process of planning is one that involves weighing one thing over another and so on. In the same manner, while planning for our lives, so many thoughts go on. If we are able to realize that what we think we become in one way or the other, we shall not restrict ourselves to the wandering thoughts that go on in our minds. We shall become more strategic about our thinking in order to take control of our lives through our thoughts. What we conjecture, we turn into and make real the day by day. Having these as a mantra will help us to live cautiously and take better hold of our life.